What's it profit a man if he gains the whole world and destroys everybody around him? And what is that? I've never done anything to profit that would hurt anybody. And all my family, all my life has fought in every war that's ever been to protect this country. I think no man should profit over another man's loss. I mean, that's wrong.
I feel like there's nothing that any of us can really do about it. The time has gone by and people just stick their head in the sand, so to speak, and we feel weak. It's devastating.
The land itself tells you what's the matter. If you go where it's been mined for 5 years or 50 years and look at it there, it's like a moonscape. The topsoil that they dig off and leave 30 or 50 feet underground is never going to be replaced in our or my grandson's lifetime. The land will never be restored ever to what it is now. The water, the hydrology of this whole countryside is affected by them. You see it everywhere you go, and that the wells adjacent to these mines or go dry. If you watch them dig, you see them tear into the underground streams that migrates the water throughout all of South Florida here. And once it's interrupted and brought into these holding ponds or whatever, it never goes back in the ground to go somewhere else.
You know, I just wish people would stand up and not look at the moment, but look at the future. And the future is going to be 5, 6, 7 years from now. You're going to have a bunch of pits where they've dug out the phosphate and everything. You're going to have big mounds of dirt. You're going to have clay settling areas. You're going to have all kinds of mess, and they're going to have all the phosphate out of Hardee County, and they're going to be off to somewhere else. And the people that live here will inherit this wonderful, beautiful mess that's going to be left behind.
Phosphate mining in Hardee will bring economic destruction to the current fabric of the entire county. What looks like a good deal in the short run, a few thousand acres that will be strip mined, will lead to the unraveling of a very stable and complicated agrarian society that's quite unique in Florida. Phosphate is a mineral that's a key ingredient in fertilizer.
An hour's drive from the sandy beaches, palm trees, and theme parks that attract tourists from around the world is a part of Florida that few visitors ever see. It's known to the phosphate mining industry as Bone Valley. Most of Bone Valley lies in the Peace River watershed, the main source of fresh water for 5 counties of west central Florida. It is vital for the fish, game, and people who live near the Charlotte Harbor estuary and the people of the coastal counties that draw their drinking water from the Peace River. The most accessible deposits of phosphate rock in the world are found in this subtropical paradise.
This is a map of Hardee County. The blue are mined areas within the county. The green are unmined areas owned by the phosphate mines, slated to be mined. Note the proximity of the future mines to the cities, Zolfo Springs, Wauchula, and Bowling Green.
Phosphate mining has already irreparably compromised 160,000 acres of land in Polk, Manatee, Hardee, and Hillsborough counties. In central Florida, over 250 square miles of some of the most extraordinary habitat in the United States has been lost. The mining industry owns this land, and some might say it is theirs to squander.
Florida reclamation laws require that mined lands be reclaimed only to a beneficial use. This broad definition allows phosphate mining companies to leave a large percentage of mined-out areas in clay slimes, a waste product of the mining process. The remainder of the reclaimed land is recontoured and revegetated cosmetically, but the once rich soil is never to be returned to its former productivity or permeability.
So what you can see here, this is why they call it strip mining. The drag lines go back and forth in a strip. And the drag line reaches down there and he digs off the superficial aquifer about 20, 30 feet. Then he gets into that gray stuff there. You see he's dumping it into a pit. And normally there's water jets spraying where his bucket is. And it turns it into a big muddy mess where that white truck is. And there's a pipe there. You see those pipes going off? This gray stuff is the matrix that they're mining. So they dig up that gray stuff, put it into a little muddy pool over there, and then pump it over to a plant where they separate out the phosphate. You can see that nice brown topsoil. He's digging that off, and then he's piling it into those rows there. And then when he gets down to that gray layer, you can see that kind of gray, blue, green, gray color. That's the matrix. That's about 1/3 clay, 1/3 sand, and 1/3 phosphate rock. And he's going to dig down through that gray matrix until he hits kind of a cream-colored layer, and then he'll stop.
We as small farmers or small independent businessmen are completely powerless to stop this pillage of the landscape for their personal gains. We don't even have the ability to count on our county commissioners to help us. Each and every one of them gives the appearance of being completely in the corner of the phosphate companies. And I don't know how they all became so convinced that it was absolutely mandatory that they be allowed to do anything that they want to do in Hardy County.
This map shows clearly the advance of phosphate mining from Polk County into Hardy County, the next victim of strip mining in Florida.
That is the past, and there's nothing we can do about it now. It is too expensive a proposition for them to make it whole again. Almost 600 square miles have already been mined to make fertilizer that is shipped around the world to customers and fertilizer operations in China, South America, and India. After a century of mining, the companies have depleted almost all the phosphate resources in the northern portion of Bone Valley. Now, they're moving south into Hardy County, where agriculture, cattle, citrus production, and crop farming are the foundation of the county's economy. Much of the proposed mining would take place in the Horse Creek Basin, one of the principal tributaries of the Peace River.
Our county is approximately 420,000 acres. All right, phosphate mining owns approximately 125 to 130,000 acres presently. And as they migrate southward, they will pick up some more land. Approximately 48 to 52% of that land will be an impermeable surface, meaning the water will not run through it. It'd be like pouring water on concrete. They use thousands and thousands of gallons, kerosene, fatty acids, diesel fuels, and so forth in their process getting the ore from the field through the washer. The clays are then dispersed into a clay settling area